It's Week 17 of the National Football League. In that center stage,
it's the Raiders' reigning league MVP. Everyone's still in awe of his last game, passing Noah Van Brocklin's 1951 mark.
So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Wide open, it's Allen, complete. Now inside the 25, Keenan Allen. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Keenan Allen with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. From the 33, here's second down and 7. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. Rolling to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders are able to add on to that lead. He hit him earlier in this first quarter with his arm. Now he does it with his legs.
Right now, he's one of those stat stuffers that you see on the basketball court. You know, the guy with points, rebounds, assists, steals. One with the arm, one with the legs. Let's see if he can continue this pace.
And sending out the reminder that, yeah, look, I'm known for having an arm, but I can do it with the legs on occasion when I need to. Offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he is the NFL leader in passing yards here in the penultimate week of the season as he looks to finish strong in order to capture the crown. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. These two teams, you may recall, they didn't play each other till late in the year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in Week 13. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Going deep here for Allen. It's caught inside the 25. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Keenan Allen His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Out is their quarterback with this offense to take over once more. He's thrown a couple of touchdown passes already in this first quarter, and now looking for more as his guys begin 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Buried behind the line by Azeez Ojulari. 21-3 is your score after 1. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here, as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. He's still on his feet. Jacoby Myers. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Jacoby Myers taking it in. And the Raiders continue to pull away here in this first half.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's been a nightmare for defenses to try and contain all year long. NFL leader in rushing yards at the QB position here late in the season. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll let this go for Adams. They've got his man complete.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You got to stay in a spot far down.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Davante Adams, 37 yards. And the Raiders extend their lead yet again. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass.
Team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he comes into these final couple of games as the NFL's leader in touchdown passes. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Adams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And he's got it inside the 10. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll begin up in the Steel City, Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, where it was the visiting Chiefs who come in and get the victory on the road. Patrick Mahomes, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. From there, let's head to AT&T Stadium as we check out the Cowboys at home in Dallas. And that one is at halftime as they lead the visiting Patriots in that ball game. CeeDee Lamb, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. 2 touchdowns there for Saquon Barkley. The highlights from the first half, all one-sided. This one got out of hand early, and now you have to wonder how these teams will approach this second half, because this one's already close.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, if they score here, this one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. And they're going to speed things up here. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Oh, good move. And some room to work. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On play action, they'll throw. Flush to his right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Being chased out left. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Flushed out right. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. That escapability has been on full display, and you can see he's now over 100 yards rushing for the game. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Steps away. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Raiders will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, We've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Back to throw now on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first. Back to throw here. On the move to his left. Shifts by him. Look at those stick skills. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. That last run, one of many that we've seen from him, and it's going to be the one that breaks Colin Kaepernick's single-game record of 181 rushing yards, set back in the divisional round of the playoffs in January of 2013.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Well, this was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball today, Charles. It would be easy to look at the offense and say, man, they were clicking, and they were, but don't forget about the effort by this defense as well.
Yeah, they weren't going to let up just because the lead was safe. They wanted to play as big a part in this game as their offense did in making this blowout. They needed to be noticed as well, and they played accordingly.
So for Las Vegas,